When I say things are getting thicker than a snicker and things are getting messier and messier, I feel like that's the understatement of the month. Katie Proudfoot has slid into the group chat and has spoken out after Seth Rogers dropped these bombshell, heartbreaking details about a traumatic experience that Sebastian went through. We got to hear what she has to say. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal. Welcome to the Pascal Show. As you guys already know, we have been covering this missing case of Sebastian Rogers. It's been well over a month since this young man has been missing. Let me say that again. It's been well over a month since this young man has been seen or heard from. Volunteers have been showing up, etc., trying to find this young man. His biological father, Seth Rogers, has been out there day in and day out trying to figure out the whereabouts and the truth on this case and this mysterious disappearance of this young man. Now, recently, things have kind of gone off the rails. I mean, it's been going off the rails for a little bit now, okay? It's been getting thicker than a snicker. We are all side-eyeing somebody or some people throughout this entire case. A lot of people have a lot of questions that have not been answered. And one of the people who is the most important person out of this whole situation that should have more answers than questions is Seth Rogers. Now, he went on to a podcast just recently called Justin on TikTok. And shout out to Justin. What's up? He's fam. But he went on there and he dropped some serious bombshells about something unthinkable, something so traumatic that it broke my heart. But apparently this trauma is something that Sebastian experienced with a 13-year-old boy. And you know I got to use these code words. You get what I'm saying. Please go check out the clip from Justin on TikTok. Like I said, it's mind-blowing. And I don't think anybody expected that twist in this particular case. But nonetheless, a lot of us are scratching our heads, asking a lot of questions, trying to understand why did that happen? How did that happen? So on and so forth. Okay, even myself, I got questions. I got those questiones, as I like to say. And hopefully we'll get those things figured out. In fact, I will be having Seth Rogers live on the show tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to clarify some of those things that he said on that show. Those bombshells are really bombshelly, and we really need to talk about it and figure out everything, okay? I think he wants to clarify a few things as well. So he's coming onto the show at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, so be sure to be a part of that conversation tonight. But the thing is it did spark up a lot of questions. We were all wondering, is it true? That's one of the main things. Is it actually true? And why did this whole thing happen? Well, or how did this whole thing happen? Well, I will say this. A lot of those things, hopefully, we will be able to clarify tonight at 9 p.m. But Katie Proudfoot did jump into the group chat and confirmed a lot of things. But she also was, taking shots at Seth. Like I said, things are getting messier and messier. Things are getting thicker than a snicker. And she has put out some serious allegations towards Seth that I hope she clarifies and hope that Seth can clarify those things as well. And before we go any further, please be sure to hit that like button down below, crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and make sure you crush that follow button on my Facebook page. Anyway, guys, let's get back into it. Let's take a look at this statement that she recently posted last night, to be exact. All right. So it says, that child was not 13, and we did not allow my son to be aid. I got to use these code words, okay, guys, from this point on. We contacted all authorities. Now, just so you guys know, real quick, what Seth says and what he alleges is that there was a 13-year-old boy that did some unthinkable things to Sebastian, okay, while they were living out in California And I guess this was during their divorce. Okay. I just want to make that abundantly clear. They were going through a divorce. Chris Proudfoot was already a part of Katie's life. All right. They were living in an apartment. All right. And then I guess this unthinkable thing happened in under Katie Proudfoot's supervision. I think that's really important to understand. Seth was nowhere near the situation, and then this thing happened. And then he found out later. He found out after the fact, okay, with this whole situation. So still very mind-blowing stuff. I can't believe this happened, but now she's clarifying things. And this also, by her clarifying things, that does confirm that this, what Seth said in this interview is true. Moving on, she says, my son received all the available help he could get. Multiple therapists involved. His doctor did know because he went to the doctor and got checked immediately. Seth was involved in his therapy as well. There are so many lies in this story, including him failing to mention where Seth got banned from the base for his violent tendencies, where at the time, my son was seeing a psychiatrist and psychologist to help him with his trauma from Seth's A and the trauma from being A'd by this child. Wow. Okay, that's some serious allegations right there. And hopefully we can get that cleared up tonight. Let me be clear. I think it is sickening that this man is airing my son's trauma online. My son deserves better than that. Let me just say this really quick, okay? I have to respond back because I'm looking at this and I'm going, so where are you? Where you been? Where you been, girl? Where you been? It's really easy for you to sit here and get behind a QWERTY keyboard and put out this information and say how sickening it is that he's putting this information out there. But this man is at his wit's end. Where are you? Are you out there, boots on the ground? Are you out there looking for your son? Are you? No. You're behind a keyboard. You're taking vacations. You're jumping in RVs and leaving town. So it's fine to clarify things, but the judgment is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. If you were out there, boots on the ground, doing everything you can, that's a different story. But please miss me with this nonsense. Miss me with this nonsense saying this is sickening. This man is psychologically done. And he has been doing nothing but being nice to y'all, being respectful, and now it's a wrap. As soon as Chris Proudfoot decided not to do that lie detector test, okay, that polygraph, that says a lot, y'all. That says a lot. Your actions are speaking way louder than your words right now. That's all I'm going to say. Let's continue. Okay, my son deserves better than that. Sure, your son deserves you guys getting out there. He deserves better than that from you guys. Okay, period. When we find him, and I believe in my heart we will, the truth will come out. He's doing his best to slander us as parents, but my son is loved and cared for and always will be. Like I said, where you been, girl? Where you been, Chris? That's all I'm asking. Where you at? Because you guys aren't out there pounding the pavement, looking around everything, looking in dark tunnels and looking in abandoned houses and stuff like that. Not at all. You guys are busy doing all kinds of other things like vacaying. Okay? Public opinion based on lies, assumptions, half-truths is rampant because of things like this, which has nothing to do with finding Sebastian. Actually, the judgment, the half-truths, and all that, didn't all those things come from you guys? Didn't it all come from you guys? Okay. You guys are going on platforms and lying. Those things are all coming back and biting you in the ears. So I don't understand why you're sitting here putting this out here. It's you're basically describing yourself and the actions you've done on all these podcasts. Interesting. Let's continue. Wow. Interesting how quickly people will come out here and say things. Really interesting. Let's move on. So This has, which has nothing to do with finding Sebastian. I will not stoop so low to partake in a back and forth argument with him. God knows the truth, and the truth always comes out. Please stop the madness and focus on finding Sebastian, because that is the most important thing. Let me just back this up really quick. I will not stoop so low to partake in a back and forth argument with him. Isn't this whole post that in the first place doing a tete-a-tete with Seth? Ain't it? Because you could have just said, you could have not even made this post. So, huh? Yeah, okay. Okay. I will not partake in a back and forth, yet you still put this out here and everybody's reacting to it right now as we speak. So again, like I said, make that make sense. Listen, guys, this whole thing is absolutely heartbreaking. It's frustrating. We all want the same thing, okay? We all want the same thing. We can all agree that either just if we can all agree that it doesn't matter if you're on the side of you think that the Proudfoots are innocent or you think the Proudfoots are villains, okay? We all can agree that we just want to get Sebastian home. And yes, I am quite curious about this information about what happened to him when he was 7, 8 years old. That's some serious information. I am wondering if this has anything to do with or how that has any connection with bringing Sebastian home. Yes, I agree that part. I do agree with that. I am kind of curious about that. But at the same time, I understand somebody who is just so beyond the point, just so beyond that they just are breaking and they're falling apart. And all they want is the same thing that everybody else wants. But the people that seem like they don't want what everybody else wants is in an RV traveling around or back home, whatever it may be, but they're not out in the public looking for their son or stepson. They're busy going out to Memphis and taking trips instead of actually giving a damn about the livelihood of their own blood. That's a big problem, guys. That's a very big problem. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like I said, the only pushback I have is she didn't even have to post this at all. She could have just stayed quiet, okay? But if you were going to post something, if you were going to say something about this, hey, it's kind of, you're not making sense here, okay? Nice to have some clarification on a few things, but at the same time, you're calling yourself out when you say, oh, I don't want to back and forth and this is disgusting. What's disgusting is that you're not out there looking for your son. Optically, that looks very, very bad. Optically, that looks terrible. You're just sitting back and letting law enforcement do whatever they need to do. And the thing is law enforcement doing everything they need to do or not? Because it seems like you guys are very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. Sure, it's law enforcement's job to help find your son, but at the same time, this is your son. You guys should be out there in the dirt, in the weeds, digging through dirt, trash, etc., to try to find this young man. But you're not. But you will have all the time in the world to come in here and post something online. Like I said, that is not the first place I would be going to when allegations or when some truths are coming out about your son and the traumatic things that happened to your son. That's not the first place I go. In fact, none of this stuff would have been out if you weren't already boots on the ground and looking for your son. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget, I will be talking with Seth tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I appreciate you guys coming in and being a part of the conversation tonight. Man, this is just getting crazy, guys. It is getting really, really messy. But again, I do agree. We do need to focus on finding Sebastian and getting him home. And I'm hoping I'm hoping we get things figured out very, very soon because things are getting wild. Things are getting wild and heartbreaking too. Anyway, guys, comment down below, hit that like button. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, crush that follow button on my Facebook page. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family on both platforms. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.